Our top story this evening, Karnataka Chief Minister Siddaramaiah presented the budget today amid a stormy beginning of the budget session of the State Assembly. The Congress hit out at the Modi-led government on the alleged injustice that the state has faced with regards to devolution of taxes and aid for drought relief. To this, BJP legislators raised slogans and protested in the corridors of the Vidhana Sauda. Let's quickly take you through some of the key announcements that were made in the state budget today. The budget outlay stands at 3.71 lakh crore rupees, with the energy sector getting 23,159 crores. 100 crores allotted for Waqf properties, 200 crores for the Christian community and 20 crores for pilgrimage sites. 39,121 crores have been allotted for the welfare of the SC/ST community. The women's welfare has received 86,423 crores in the budget, while child welfare has received 54,617 crores. When it comes to developing water resources in the state, which is much needed amid the extreme drought that is being faced by the state, 2,000 crore rupees have been allotted for the development of canals in Varuna. 970 crores have been allotted for the project to fill 38 lakhs of Yalaburga, Kukanur Taluk of Koppal district for drinking water and Antarjal development. To ease Bengaluru's traffic woes, the government will collaborate with Japan government and install area traffic control system at 28 major junctions. These have been some of the key announcements, apart from, of course, other features of the state budget. But let's also quickly listen into some of the reactions that came in today.
Please, just one reaction from you. The BJP is protesting today, so you boycotted the budget. Why?
Yeah. Because Siddaramaiah, to cover up his failures, mistakes, mishandling of the finances of the state, has totally politicized the budget making and budget speech. It is not a budget speech, it's a political speech. And to cover up his failures, he is trying to point finger at center. In his own budget, it is printed that whatever is expected of devolution of tax last year, 3,000 crores extra has been given by the center. He himself has written it. Okay. And most of the schemes which are centrally sponsored, he himself writes. But he, in his paragraphs, he says center is not doing this thing. So there is a double speak of this chief minister trying to cover up his failures. He has politicized this budget, trying to make center against state. And in the view of coming Lok Sabha election, it is uncalled for. Never in the history of Karnataka, any chief minister has politicized the budget and budget speech to this extent.
Thank you.
Basically, this budget is not going to help any sectors because no allocation for education department, no allotment for irrigation purpose, no allotment for North Karnataka development. So every sector of the state has been let down. The only thing which Siddaramaiah is successful is he has reserved money or allocated money for minority issues. Apart from that, this budget presented by Honorable Chief Minister, which he famously claims himself that is presented 15th budget today, has let down every sections of the society today.
The state battle somewhere continues, isn't it?
See, if you look at the share has been increasing drastically. The share of the state, the 50% share straight away goes to the state of Karnataka. With regard to the center GST, whatever has been collected, the remaining has been shared in the tax devolution, much more than what the UPA government had given during their tenure. It is 2.5 times more. I don't see any reason for the state government to complain. If in this direction, if you look at the more than 70 to 80% tax collection happens in the city of Bangalore. How much money have they given to the Bangalore? Nothing. Just because he's having difference with his deputy chief minister, he's given no money to the Bangalore. Always his anger is venting out by not allocating any money to Bangalore. He wants to show his anger against Mr. Shukumar by not allocating any money for irrigation, no money for Bengaluru. There's zero allocation.
All right, joining me on the broadcast this evening are T.S. Sanket, spokesperson for the BJP. Anurag Naidu is a political analyst joining us. Dhruv Jatti of the Congress Party joining us. And Dr. Satish Prasad Rath also joining us on the broadcast. Good evening and welcome to all of you on the show. Let me first get in the reaction of what the citizen of Karnataka things. Dr. Satish Prasad, I'd like to start with you. What do you make of this budget which has been presented by the state government today?
So definitely, there are some positives and then there are some things which can be done. So I won't get into the political part, but as a citizen of Bangalore, as well as an entrepreneur, a scientist, I would say that part is there is a great opportunity for Karnataka to create a startup fund because there is a big talk about both at the state level as well as at the central level. And Bangalore is the breeding hub for startup, the success story of India. And that too, Bangalore is leading this part. So there is a big opportunity for the state government to take the lead, to take the brand Bangalore to the next level and create a AI fund as well as a startup fund. And this also can be done in coordination with the central government. So there is a lot of funds, which are coming both from the central government as well as the state government. And this is not being properly implemented and utilized. And we have also central universities like IIC to NCBS to, let's say, many other NIMHANS and then, Bangalore Medical College and so many, central as well as state level universities. So if this can be collated as well as created as a startup fund, then, even the brand Bangalore, which is already in #1 in India as well as in the world, it is a big name. This can actually come out very nicely for the youngsters, for the startup entrepreneurs, as well as for the academicians, as well as for the citizens of Bangalore. So we see, the Swiggies, the Zomatos, the Olas, the Ubers, everything is created in Bangalore. So this is something, what the government can do. And second part is, there is very good upside because of the infrastructure, stuff, whatever has been done to ease the traffic as well as infrastructural improvement. This also can be participated by citizens through startups. So if a startup has got some good idea where traffic can be eased or let's say citizen or civilization can be improved, then this also can be, one of the other stuff, what definitely, this budget can, include. And I would always say that part is, this is the good part. And then, what, more can be done about it. So that would be my, initial feedback.
Okay. Okay, Anurag Naidu, do you resonate with it? How do you see this budget? There's a lot of emphasis on infrastructure development. There's also at least an effort to deal with the traffic woes of Bengaluru, not just, the India famous, but now the world famous Bengaluru traffic that the government is trying to deal with. What do you make of the budget?
So again, there is capital,
Thank you, Shreya, for having me on the show. Look, I think I would have to tell you one thing, although the composition of the budget and the sectors that have been put into focus, it's really appreciable. And there's no denying, the kind of, consideration that have been made, particularly for the women, child development. These are the things that always needed focus, particularly one of the things that caught my attention was investment on specific multi-speciality hospital. But what's worrying? Because of the freebies that they have given, the budget sanctions for something like, say, a multi-speciality hospital, it's a 130 crore provisioning in the budget. So what do you do with 130 crore in such a big state like Karnataka? You can do nothing. Today in a city like Bangalore, if you want to build a 7-story, 8-story structure with, in around develop 4 to 5 acres of area, you need more than 300 crores. So 130 crores or 150 crores odd for a multi-speciality hospital projects across the state, it is going to give you no fruits. And I don't know how they're going to spend. So I think these are the many areas. And I think I also see there are a couple of factors which have been given, like 10 crores budget provisioning. There are certain things which are given 20 crores. The direction on the composition has no doubt. But the problem is the budget cutoff or the kind of allocation, the minor allocation, those are very minuscule revenue allocation that has been done. It is a result of the overspending that you do on the freebies and the social schemes. That has also put Karnataka in a fiscal deficit and in a burden of close to 6.5 lakh crore. And out of this, close to 1.5 or 2 lakh crore is been a debt that the government has made over the last 1.5 years. So that speaks a volume about where the direction should be. I totally appreciate
Let me get Dhruv Jati to respond to this. Dhruv, what Anurag is saying, that the intention might be good, but the implementation is a problem, and the fact that a lot of that money is spent on the freebies that you give out to people. And of course, it's an election year, so all the more reason for you to do so.
Yeah, Shreya, before I get to Anurag's question, I would like to start by saying that the Karnataka 2024 3.7 lakh crores. And what makes this budget special is that it caters to all 6.41 crore Kannadigas across the entire state. And when the guarantees were rolled out, there was apprehensions on, on how the guarantees would be carried forward. But today is a big eye opener for all states across India who undermined the Congress. And this is because by covering all sections of society, we have produced the Karnataka economic module of development, and this seems to be setting the standards across the entire country. Now, coming to the question of what Anurag had said, yes, and CM Siddaramaiah in his statements as well had clearly mentioned about how the fund allocation into the guarantees has been extremely beneficial for the people, and especially the number of people that it has drawn out of poverty. So as it blames, as it draws some amount of criticism, you also have to look at the socio-economic development that the freebies have brought for the people of Karnataka. And I feel that is quite important to keep into perspective as well.
Okay. Let me get T.S. Sankirat into this discussion. T.S. Sankirat, what do you make of it? We just heard the former Chief Minister Bommai also speak of the fact that there is, there's no lack of funds when it comes to the centre handing out funds to Karnataka. But the accusation by the government is that the centre is not giving enough funds.
The budget that is presented by Mr. Siddaramaiah, who claims it has his 15th budget, who's a very senior most person who has a record of presenting 15 budgets in the state of Karnataka, is totally filled with lies, and this is a bogus budget. We call it a bogus budget because I heard the Congress spokesperson saying it has the ideologies of Basavraj, where the Basavraj comes from the Uttar Karnataka region. It has been totally neglected, and not very less allocation of funds has been given to the North Karnataka. They have been totally neglected. This budget sees more of a revenue expenditure than capital expenditure. And unfortunately, he says employment will be created. Is this not double standard? You put very less on capital expenditure, capex goes down, there is no infrastructure or there is no development, and you try to increase jobs. You're only increasing the revenue expenditure and you're increasing the debt of Karnataka. When you have come to power in the 9 months and this budget, you have added a 1.93 lakh crores as debt. This is your succession. Is this your sadhana? So Mr. Siddaramaiah, who claims to have a very physical discipline, a very financial man of Karnataka, has totally neglected development all over the parts of Bengaluru. I want to ask one question. I come from the part of Bengaluru. What is your contribution to brand Bengaluru? It is just that you have a political rivalry with your Deputy Chief Minister. You have ignored Bengaluru totally. As you said, the Bengaluru traffic has become a worldwide topic. What about the Mekedatu? You are anti-farmer, anti-irrigation, anti-development, and anti-job creation. The overall thing, what you wanted, you made a whole drama saying that Mekedatu, water for Karnataka. What is your allocation to Mekedatu? Nil. So this is the kind of double standard that is being practiced by Mr. Siddaramaiah. His physical discipline has definitely gone for a toss, bringing in 1.93 lakh crores and adding up the entire loan on Karnataka is 28,000 per person, which amounts to 6.65 lakh crores. So this is the kind of physical discipline that has been practiced by Mr. Siddaramaiah. This is, we repeatedly tell, this is a budget
do you want to respond to what Sankirat is saying?
Versus state. See, because when you have quoted in your budget that 50,257 crores was the amount receivable from the granting aid and central taxes and devolution of funds, why do you have to make a drama in Jantar Mantar? Why don't you accept it? Because when you have to accept it, you have to talk only the truth in the assembly. If truth is not spoken in the assembly, privilege motion will be moved and the action will be initiated against you. So you're definitely lying the people of Karnataka, and you have not presented a budget. I repeat, you have made a political statement and you have made politics over the budgets of the people of Karnataka.
It's quite, Shreya, it's quite appalling, because if you look at the Bharatiya Janata Party's strategy, whether it was in the House or even today on the debate, they seem quite intellectually lacked the entire state unit. And this is because the MLAs themselves, who went outside and held a dharna, they went on to, say that the budget had nothing. And this was halfway when the CM was through his entire budget. Without even listening to the entire budget, the Bharatiya Janata Party MLAs go out and stage a protest. This clearly shows how intellectually lacking the entire state unit is. And speaking about North Karnataka, I don't know again if the Bharatiya Janata Party has really gone through the entire budget, because there has been massive irrigation allocations in Kittur, Karnataka. You have a KKRDB fund again that has been put forth and re-enhanced. So the entire North Karnataka region, like I said, embodying the true values of Guru Basavarna, has been re-energized. And let me bring to your notice, 71 years. Mr. Sankirti, I listened to you entirely, so please listen to me fully. 71 years, the state's debt was 2.4 lakh crores. And when the Bharatiya Janata Party came into picture in 2018, they entirely rose that debt by 3 lakh crores, making it close to about 5.3 lakh crores. With what sense of, responsibility as a state government, as an incumbent state government, they come out to say that the state's debt is 6.3 lakh crores. Sir, during your tenure, it increased by 3 lakh crore rupees. Where is the answer to that? And also, I would like to bring, to notice today's debate is that an important point, a member of parliament from Bangalore South goes on to say that funds from the endowments of temples was put forth and, channelized towards the funds of minorities, when this is clearly not even possible through the classifications of the funds of temples of an endowments. It's the Bharatiya Janata Party that has gone on to lie blatantly to the people of Karnataka, because they were heavily unprepared for the budget today. This, in fact, is the fact of today.
Sankirat, you wanted to make a point. Go ahead. Yeah, Anurag, I'll come to you. Let Sankirat make his point and then I'm going to come to you.
See, from 2018, or when Mr. Siddaramaiah, who ruled for 2013 to 2018, who calls himself a self-proclaimed golden era of Karnataka, he was the person when the debt was 1 lakh crore for the whole of the Karnataka from independence till 2014. In 1 year, the 1 lakh crore debt doubled to 2 lakh crores because of the indiscipline in the fiscal responsibility of the state, and it is a very hardship to the Karnataka economy. Even today, the Siddaramaiah-led government is definitely is making a political statement and politicizing the whole thing. They are not representing any budget to the people of Karnataka. They are not presenting a budget to the people of Karnataka. They are playing politics, and their physical discipline is definitely gone for a toss. Only in the 9 months tenure of Siddaramaiah government, when he himself had said that 85,000 crores is the loan that has to be taken, when he himself said that 2.38 lakhs will be collected from CGST, does Modi have to come and do that thing? You are very inefficient, you are very incapable that you can only collect 1.67 lakh crores till date. So this is to cover up all these failures, to cover up all this mishap. You are trying to just shift the focus for the people of Karnataka by giving a political statement and not representing budget. This is the double standards of the Congress party.
This is facts and facts. 106%.
Okay. Anurag,
106% of a voter debt during your time.
Dhruv, let Anurag make his point and then I'll come to you.
During the Bharatiya Janata Party's time of tenure. Where are the answers to that?
Sure.
Okay, Dhruv, you've made your point. Anurag, go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to make a quick point on the Basavarna philosophy, why it is political. Yeah, when you say that it is inspired from Basavarna's philosophy, on one side it's good. You are rolling out free coaching institute, free coaching classes for the backward community, absolutely appreciable. But on the other hand, when you say the social schemes are there to uplift the society, bring people out of poverty, but you know what you are doing in this budget? You are giving 10 crore rupees allocation for the whole state for the women's self-help group. The entrepreneurs, small-time entrepreneurs and the women's self-help group are the backbone for the economic growth or economic drivers at the lowest level. If you are not supporting, what is 10 crore divided by the population of self-help groups in Karnataka? It is not even peanuts, and that is something that you do on a year-long fiscal budget. It is something I don't understand. Second, you look why it is a kind of a political budget is. You use jargons like you had a tie-up with the Japan government to resolve the traffic situation. Oh, it sounds like huge, but what is your rollout in terms of budget allocation to develop the flyovers, to develop the underpass, to develop infrastructure, the urban infrastructure, to develop high-speed metro rails? There is no mention on specifically how you're going to traffic this. A tie-up with the Japan government is not going to solve the traffic problems of the city. A city like Bangalore, which is seen to be a global city, looks out for innovative solution that may solve. You probably need to have things like monorail. You probably need to have things like more helicopters flying from one part of. You can probably would have rolled out a scheme to give a viability gap funding for the helicopters flying from electronic city to airport, maybe other things. So there are many innovative things that you could have done if your intention was good. I really don't want to, kind of downplay the intention of the Honorable Chief Minister. I think it is a 360-degree, well thought about budget, but the allocation is very, very disheartening for me to see. Although the entire thought process was good, but allocation could have been better in the interest of the Bangalore and also the state of Karnataka.
Fair enough. Dhruv, you're talking about brand Bengaluru. I know you want to respond, but, you're talking about brand Bengaluru where infrastructure needs to be perfect, where citizens need to feel safe, where your citizens living in not just Bengaluru, but the entire Karnataka need to have skills for employment, all of that. And, Anurag made some valid points that you're talking about brand Bengaluru and, building it up, but the kind of allocation that you've given out is not matching up to the implementation that is required to build brand Bengaluru.
I don't think so, Shreya, and I'm quite sure Anurag has gone through the entire budget in detail, because if you have a look at it, for Bengaluru, there has been, for example, a clear allocation of 73 kilometers of a Bangalore business corridor, an allocation of about 27,000 crore.
All right, there seems to be a network issue there. We'll try and rectify that. But Sankirat, you wanted to make a point. Please go ahead.
See, today in Karnataka, brand Bengaluru is just in TV ads, just in paper ads. There is no proper concept or no plan to make brand Bengaluru. I think brand Bengaluru is Mr. D.K. Shivkumar buying a mall in 30 minutes, being himself making thousands of crores in assets and developing his property is brand Bengaluru. There is no concern about the people of Karnataka. In this budget, the people of Bengaluru have been clearly neglected, and there is not much of a chance. And Mr. D.K. Shivkumar himself says there is no money for developmental activities in the state. There is no development activities in Karnataka or in Bengaluru. We don't have money. This is the statement that has been given by Mr. D.K. Shivkumar. So indirectly, you are definitely ignoring Bengaluru. You are not doing any development in Bengaluru, and you are also wooing away the investors who are trying to come to Bengaluru. You are also wooing away employment opportunities for the people of Karnataka. You are definitely anti-Bengaluru and you are definitely anti-employment.
Okay, we have Dhruv back with us. Dhruv, go ahead.
Yeah, the Bharatiya Janata Party has some sort of responsibility. 27 MPs sitting in Delhi. Then they also must look at the amount of 44,485 crores under taxes, which the union government has to give. And CM in his speech clearly stated that this would be dedicated for the
lakh crores
DPR.
has been given.
And this is for the construction.
Don't fool the people of Karnataka. Don't fool the people of Karnataka. It is your Siddaramaiah who has presented his budget that 50,257 crores is granting aid and collection from central taxes, and 1.7 lakh crores has been given from devolution by the state of Karnataka. If you have so much of a doubt, go to Supreme Court and disprove the Article 281 against the 15th Finance Commission. Don't do a drama.
If that is the case, where is this?
If that is the case, where is the
17,000?
Why didn't you go to the Supreme Court? Why are you not talking against this?
Where is
the budget which you have presented? Why are you not talking against this?
Where is the 17,000 crores?
Why are you not talking against this in the assembly? Why are you not talking? Because you are definitely lying to the people of Karnataka. You are fooling the people of Karnataka and going to Jantar Mantar and making a drama. If you really had concern against the people of Karnataka, you would definitely have approached a different manner.
Sankirat and Dhruv, you've made your points. You've made your points, gentlemen. Let me quickly play out Chief Minister Siddaramaiah's bite and other political reactions, and I'll come back to the debate.
ಗ್ಯಾರಂಟಿಗಳು ಜನರ ಆಶೋತ್ತರಗಳನ್ನು ಆಧರಿಸಿವೆ. ಕೇಂದ್ರದಲ್ಲಿ ಅಧಿಕಾರದಲ್ಲಿದ್ದ ನಮ್ಮ ಯುಪಿಎ ಸರ್ಕಾರವು ಜನರ ಆಹಾರ, ಆರೋಗ್ಯ, ಶಿಕ್ಷಣ, ಉದ್ಯೋಗ ಮತ್ತು ವಾಸದ ಭದ್ರತೆಗಾಗಿ ವಿವಿಧ ಜನಕೇಂದ್ರಿತ ಯೋಜನೆಗಳು ಹಾಗೂ ಕಾನೂನುಗಳನ್ನು ರೂಪಿಸಿ ಬಡಜನರಿಗೆ ನ್ಯಾಯ ಒದಗಿಸುವ ಕಾರ್ಯಗಳನ್ನು ಕೈಗೊಂಡಿತ್ತು.
Yeah, we are boycotting because they are using the budget session to condemn the central government, Modi government. This budget, central government given 3,000 crores extra for the Karnataka, but our revenue in Karnataka, 14,000 is less. Sir, there is no money. This is a pauper. I am not telling Mr. D.K. Shivkumar
told all MLAs, don't ask any on Naya Paise, another 1 year. We are in the pauper stage.
BJP says this is a politicized budget, but you put out facts and figures also to counter that, which says that, the funds have been released, have not been released from the centres.
How do you know what was? How do they know what was in the budget when they walked out in the first 10 pages? The first 10 pages very clearly, and the rest of the budget document had numbers in that. And every number is being justified. The numbers are not coming from us. It's coming from central government or the state government. They can check the veracity of it. But walking out is insulting the people of Karnataka, right? Even we protested last time when there was a budget. We did a silent protest. We heard the budget well. We condemned it. We had reservations about a lot of allocations. But this is not the way to do things. So that means they are against Karnataka. If they have a problem, let them debate that. If they have a problem with the number, let them debate that.
All right, so political reactions there, of course, while the Chief Minister was presenting his budget. But Dr. Rath, you wanted to make a point?
Yes, I think, getting away from the political stuff, what still can be done is Bangalore is an international brand. And all the major, let's say, let's say, 10 companies or the 20 companies of the world have got their R&D house here, including Google, Microsoft, Apple, Twitter, Airbus, Boeing, and everything. So I think, there can be an opportunity to leverage these R&D houses, how they can contribute to easing traffic and ease of living in Bangalore. There is a very, very big opportunity there. And second part is, I think, we see all the SEZs coming up in the dense, let's say, citizen areas, like, let's say, Marathali is one example, Sarjapur is one example. Let's say the entire, stretch between HSR to, let's say, Kerpuram is an example. Hebal is also getting congested. So whenever they're planning the SEZs, it should be away from the dense, crowded areas so that, it is actually not, let's say, congesting the further growth, but it is actually easing a new area development kind of thing. Third, but not the most important part is I see that, child welfare has been allocated a good amount of budget. And this is an example also what Karnataka can set, being the IT capital of the world, is how we can, even if your budget allocation is less, how using digital technology, AI, you can bring efficiency into the stuff. So you can still reach out to multiple, let's say, women groups or multiple children groups, or you can build very efficient healthcare system. You can build very efficient, let's say, fintech system using the best of the technologies, which is available and which is there is a big privilege for, Bangalore. So these are some of the things, what the government can consider within the existing budget itself, so that, whatever, let's say, infrastructure and the privilege Bangalore has, can set out to be an exemplary, stuff. Bangalore is a global brand, and then we all have the responsibility to enhance it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that is something that, Dhruv can help us understand better. Dhruv, the fact that this budget has come out, there have been, certain allocations, but the point remains that how do you plan to build and strengthen brand Bengaluru that you talk about? The fact that infra remains a problem, the fact that traffic challenges, traffic issues are a daily issue in Bengaluru. And like Anurag said, that, the fact that you've tied up with the Japanese government, how does that help the people of Karnataka in strengthening the infrastructure and weeding out the traffic woes?
Two things, Shreya. I think brand Bengaluru and beyond Bengaluru. Two things that the government of Karnataka, the Congress government, has been focusing on the whole. And today's CM Siddaramaiah, in his statement, brought out something quite important. He said by 2026, there would be metro railway from the city that would connect directly to the airport. You also had the idea of the introduction of a tunnel in Hebal, in the entire Hebal junction, which is in fact quite criticized for being a traffic hub in the city. So there are multiple efforts that are being put in by the Congress party to, in fact, revive Bengaluru city for its fast forward, approach in terms of the entire social economic state that the city runs on. So this is one part of it. The other part of it is beyond Bengaluru, where a lot of investment, if you see, has been driven towards Kalyan Karnataka region. You have multiple setups over there. Like I said, even the skill academy, which is going to be set up, is going to be a part of Bellary district. Then you have multiple irrigation projects in Kittur, Karnataka, as a part of promoting beyond Bengaluru, and also speaking about how the Karnataka Congress is looking at evolving not just from Bangalore, is also considering tier 2 cities like Hubli, Dharwad, Gulbarga, and Belgaum as alternate options for multinational companies. You have also seen that the Infosys had, in fact, inaugurated its unit in 2022, and the party is quite
But
keen
can
on
I
making
say something,
sure
Dhruv?
that
The
this
fact
unit
that,
becomes functional.
here we're talking about budget, but we've had these discussions about particularly Bengaluru's traffic problem earlier as well, where political leaders come.
Cities, whether you look at a Bangalore or you look at a Manila in the Philippines, or in fact, a Dhaka in Bangladesh, most of them are suffering from traffic issues. And I can tell you that the only way to energize this is to make sure that the public transportation system is given enough importance, and this is something that the Congress party is entirely focusing on. If you look at the entire brand Bengaluru, it's revolving around transforming the public transportation system, and that's and even if you look at one of our guarantees, which is making sure we have free public transportation for women, it's mainly aimed to promote this so that it helps reduce traffic at the same time. So there are multiple efforts that are being put in. Not everything can be solved at one time. I also have to let you know that over the past few years, Karnataka was dwelling deep down into the 40% sarkara of the corruption of the Bharatiya Janata Party, which hindered the state's progress. And ever since we've come into power, there has been multiple efforts to change this.
Anurag, quickly, I have to wrap this up, but, does this satisfy you as a citizen, the fact that public transport system needs to be strengthened and that will cure the traffic woes of Bengaluru? Because that's one of the main concerns. The budget has other features as well, but this is one of the most crucial and the biggest concerns of people living in Bengaluru.
Yeah, I think I wanted to make that point, and good that Dhruv brought it up. There is a mention of the underpass tunnel from Hebbal, 1 or 2 tunnels. That's what I said. I mean, I appreciate that because we need more of them, but 1 or 2 tunnels or few infrastructures will not decongest the whole big city like Bangalore. I think it needs huge amount of focus, and that's what I'm saying. If 1 or few of the tunnels or few, infrastructure that we categorically mentioned in the budget, are they enough? No. If they're not enough, why they are not enough? Why are we limiting ourselves to 1 or 2? It's because of the financial crunch we have. I'm saying let's address the larger problem. That's number one. Next, second, I would have really looked forward to looking at a sustainability factor in the budget. There's no talk about sustainable living, sustainability. There's no talk about reducing carbon footprint. There's no talk about what kind of measure the state is going to do. Now, you see the temperatures are rising, the air pollution. I mean, look at the quality of air. Bangalore used to be the best in amongst all the cosmopolitan cities, but now it's also deteriorating. Why it is? What are we going to do to control that? These are the things that you should have invested. The only reason why you're not able to invest is because you have over-invested some other places where probably you could have created more value. I would have really loved to see a huge investment instead of social schemes going into the schemes that will enhance people's ability to be more entrepreneurs, ability to do business, more opportunities, skill development. That probably would have been a sustainable way to bring people out of poverty rather than giving a direct money. I appreciate the bus scheme,
All right.
but also look at the free electricity scheme. A lot of upper middle class people in Bangalore or also other big cities of Karnataka, they are utilizing the schemes which was purely meant for the underprivileged and the poor section. But you don't have a control over that. Or schemes like this, you're burning cash,
so a lot
which
of
you could have probably resolved.
a lot of allocations and a lot of big talks, but we'll have to see how that is implemented on ground. I'll have to wrap it up here. Anurag, Dhruv, and Dr. Rath, thank you very much. To Sankirat as well for joining us on the broadcast and sharing your thoughts on this budget that has been presented by the Siddaramaiah government today in Karnataka. With that, viewers, it's a wrap on this broadcast. News and updates will continue on the other side. Thank you very much for joining us right now. Bye-bye.